This is the plaintiff, Carrie Kolakowski. She says she bought her friend, the defendant, a phone and added him to her bill because she's a nice girl. But the guy confused her kindness for stupidity because he won't pay her back and thinks he can get away with it. Well, hold everything, cowboy. She's not gonna let anyone get over on her like that. Knows her legal rights and is suing the louse for the $930 he owes. This is the defendant, Derek Ficara. He says he doesn't owe the flip-flopping plaintiff a dime because she shut his phone off and he almost lost his job because of it. The plaintiff's attitude and actions shocked him because there was no need for it. He had every intention of paying her back. But because she freaked out and shut his phone off, he owes nothing. He's accused of being a phone phony.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff added the defendant to her phone because she says she was a nice girl, and guess what? She got stiffed. But the defendant says he was going to pay, but she shut the phone off, so all deals off. It's the case of being a phone phony.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Ms. Kolakowski, you are suing Mr. Ficara for $930. The cost of a phone, termination fees, and an October bill that you say he did not pay, and a phone that you put on your account for him. How did you two know each other?
I've known him from a mutual friend, my neighbor next door.
How long have you known him?
I don't know, maybe about a year.
How well do you know him before you put the phone in your name?
Not too well.
Huh?
Not too well.
How well did you know? I mean, because I have to tell you, I know a lot of people. I've had a lot of close relationships. I have never once had anybody offer to put my phone on their bill. So what would possess you to offer that to him? Why did you do that?
I'm just a nice person. I believe everybody.
No, a nice person is someone who volunteers their time in a soup kitchen to help feed the homeless. This is just a sucker. Okay, but I'm trying to understand why. Were you trying to date him? Did you like him?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Now I really don't understand. At least that way I could find the motivation, cause and effect. Here I'm just lost. So how did it come up that you would make yourself financially liable for his bill?
We just talked about it. And
how did it come? What's we just talked about? Who brought it up?
I think he suggested, he asked me if I would get him a phone.
How did this happen?
He would pay.
We had been talking, we became friends. I had planned on buying a phone and getting my own plan. She said, well, hey, I can get you a phone. It's not going to cost anything. You just pay the bill and we'll go from there. So that's what we did.
Were you guys dating?
No.
There was no interest whatsoever?
No, we were friends, maybe talking more, like about maybe more, but there's nothing other than friendship.
Really? I'm lost. Yeah. All right, so you put the phone bill, his phone bill in your name, and you make yourself financially liable for whatever happens, and then what happens?
We had an agreement that he was supposed to be paying so much each week, and it seemed that each week something came up. I don't have the money. I don't have all of the money. Then it became every 2 weeks. Then it became once a month.
And so what ends up happening that brings you to court then?
What ended up happening was back in October, he had called me one day and said, I don't have all the money. He said, I can give you this much, and then next week I can give you the other. And I just said, no, it always seemed like it was something. Like I always felt like I had to keep
chasing him for the money.
I kept calling him all the time.
Yeah.
And it just
That's what happens with people who can't afford to put a phone in their own name because they have bad credit.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. They stiffed the phone company the last time. So they get, there are reasons why people do this. Don't you get it?
Yeah.
Right.
I do now. Lesson learned for me, I guess.
I don't know. No.
That's not true.
What happened? Why couldn't you just get your own plan? It was cheaper to do it.
I could get my own plan.
Why didn't you?
I said no like 5 times. She kept insisting, please let me get you a phone. It's not going to cost you anything because I had the money to get my own plan.
Why didn't you just say no and stick to it?
I said, because I don't know, I'm a pushover. I am.
I'm a pushover when someone's trying to give me something.
I paid the bill.
I am a pushover. I'm just a nice guy. When someone's trying to give me something, I can't.
Finally folded.
Right. I don't want to make them sad.
I always paid the bill. Maybe not always on time.
What went wrong? Why am I here?
Okay, would you ever put a friend's phone, your friend's phone, in your name so the bill came to you?
No.
Why not?
If they got in trouble and they tried to look up their phone line, it'd be under my name, and I don't want to get.
Okay, well, that's true. If your friend commits crimes, that's a problem. What else?
I wouldn't do it because what if they didn't pay the bill? I wouldn't trust them. Anything could possibly happen.
One other thing, why would a friend ask you to put a phone in your name?
Well, if you had a friend's phone in your name, they probably like trust you, and maybe they're having financial problems. So like, oh, will you wait for me for a little while to pay?
So there's somebody with financial problems, you're going to then put your neck out, right? Yeah.
Wrong.
Going inside the courtroom.
The last time I was supposed to pay the bill, I didn't have all the money because my check was only $60. I said, I'll give you $40 this week and $40 next week. She flipped out and said, no, that's not good enough. I want the phone back. I had the phone for almost a year. I paid the bill. A couple times I was late.
I know, but that's a breach. You know that.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. When, I paid the bill when I could, if I couldn't pay it on time.
I understand, but do you understand that she has the right to say no more phone for you because you're not doing what you said you would do? It's just the way it works. If you're late, you're late. If you have struggle, you're struggling, whatever it is. But, you act as though she has no right to say, no, I'm done chasing you. I want it back. She was only chasing me a little. That's not a defense.
I didn't say she didn't have the right. When she asked for the phone back, I gave it back to her.
Well, tell me about that. How did he give back the phone?
Well, let's just start that the conversation we had that day, which was October 11th, it was a Friday. He told me that he had gotten a $60 paycheck. And I said, okay, well, give me the $40 and you can pay me the other half next week. And he said, no, how am I supposed to eat? How am I supposed to live? Well, I look at it like I'm a bill. You still have obligations to pay. And so I said I wanted the phone back. And of course, he got really upset. And at that point, at the end of our conversation, I shut the phone off.
Meaning you called the company and had them shut service?
I suspended the line, yes. Right. Then the next day, I got a text message from my neighbor, stating that Derek had come into her work and wait till you see the phone and how he smashed it. I have a letter from her.
Do you have the phone?
I have pictures of the phone and I have the letter.
What did you end up doing with the phone?
I got a $31 trade-in. Well, it's actually...
And then what? And then got another phone?
No, I did not get another phone.
Okay.
The phone was beyond repair. It was completely damaged and the insurance would not cover it.
That's not true.
That's not true. They're using the phone for parts.
Hold on. Don't talk. Who's Patricia Nelson? The neighbor?
That's my neighbor, yeah.
And that's your friend?
Mm-hmm.
She's still your friend?
Yes.
Okay. In January, the plaintiff gave the defendant a phone with the understanding that he would pay the bill weekly in the amount of $20 a week. In October, Derek and Carrie had a falling out about the phone. She asked for the phone back. He came in to Stop and Shop where I work and asked me if I would give her the phone. When he gave it to me, I noticed that the phone was completely smashed. I texted Carrie right away and she came and got the phone from me. How was the phone completely smashed?
I went to Best Buy twice to get the phone replaced because I paid for the insurance the whole time.
Right.
Okay. The first time they sent me a new phone. Yeah, it got broken at work. No, the first time it was in the cup holder. I drive a tow truck. I reached over and cracked the screen. The second time I was in the truck, it was in my lap. I went to get out of the truck. It fell down to the ground from the height of the tow truck and broke. I went to Best Buy. They sent me another phone. That phone was no good. I went again. The phone they sent me the second time was no good. They said, no, you're going to have to pick out a phone here instead of us sending you a refurbished phone.
Sorry, when you turned in the phone, because she said, I want you to turn in the phone, this is what you turned in.
It was broken, yeah.
Okay. That had broken how?
At work. The first time it was in the cup holder, I reached over and the screen cracked.
Which is the time that it broke at work? A second time, a third time?
Two different times before I got it replaced. The first time.
But you didn't get this one replaced.
I was
using
in
the phone like this. See, here's what I want to find out. Did you smash a phone because she was asking for a phone?
No, not at all.
Because I don't see how you could use this phone.
I was in the process of getting a new phone when she took it away.
According to Verizon, this phone doesn't work. So it was working until, so let me see if I got this straight. You talk to her and it's working. She tells you she wants the phone back and magically it's not working and it's been smashed, but that happened at work.
I went to Best Buy. I was getting a new phone through Best Buy. They sent a broken one twice. I could have got a new phone. If she didn't take it away from me, I would have had a new phone the next day.
You're telling me that phone works even though Verizon tells me it doesn't?
No, it didn't work when I gave it to her. It didn't work towards the end when I had it. When
she
Best Buy
was talking to you from the phone until she told you that she didn't want to pay for your phone anymore.
Right.
I think you smashed it and gave it to her. Either way, can I ask you how it is that you're suing for $600 for the cost of a Samsung Droid?
It was brand new right out of the box. I didn't.
How long? Wait, he had a bill and he was paying the bill for how many months? He says a year.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. October.
Okay, so that's not brand new. How is that brand new?
Well, it was brand new when
A year ago?
Yeah, 10 months ago.
Okay. Well, now I understand why you put them on your plan. If you think that's brand new out of the box. Okay. Show me the fee for termination.
I haven't terminated it yet because
Oh, well, then how are you going to collect the termination fee? How do I know you're not going to give it to another guy you like?
I don't need that. I don't need that extra line.
Oh, you suspended service?
I suspended the service.
Not canceled.
Right.
Okay.
And it's still suspended, yes.
Where's the rest of the bill? The bill is many pages long. Why is the page number off of this, and where's the rest of the bill?
Oh, it's at home.
How do I know the termination fee is $250? How are you proving your case? Where is the October bill?
The October bill I have not received yet.
But you didn't bother to go to the internet and print it out so you could sue for it in court? How do I know what the October bill is from him?
It's the same every month for the phone.
What I see is breakdown of charges, and then it says $50.30 next to his phone number. And it says $51.90 next to your phone number. Mm-hmm. So what is it? How do you want me to figure your math? I don't know what you're doing.
Well, the rest of the bill is just, as far as the breakdown, it just shows how many minutes he has used, but there's no charge for any minutes.
Can I have the October bill? The answer is no, you don't have it. Can I have something that shows that it's $250 termination fee? The answer is no, you don't have it. I do have evidence that he smashed up the droid. That's the only thing I have evidence of. Somebody's whited out the page number. Somebody's whited out the date due.
There's nothing whited out. I can show you right here.
Yeah, give me the real bill. This is all you brought to court? You didn't bring any bills?
I just brought these two. There's nothing whited out.
Okay. Can I have that? You didn't bring any, that's not even a complete bill, is it?
That shows his phone number.
That's not even a complete bill, is it? You think I'm going to forget what I just asked?
No.
That's not even a complete bill. Okay. Okay. Just on what you're showing me, here it says quick bill summary, August 13th to September 12th, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then where it charges you, it's charging you September 13th to October 12th. You understand? When you get the bill, you're paying for the future month, which means that you would not be entitled to the bill that you don't even have here to prove anyway. But you wouldn't be entitled to an October bill because that's when you took the phone away, right? You took the phone away when?
I asked for it back on October 11th, and then I received it October 12th.
She turned it off the 11th. So.
I shut it off on the 11th, and I got it back on the 12th, smashed.
Okay. Do you intend to give that phone to anybody else or that line to anybody else?
No.
All right. I know because this ain't my first rodeo that the termination fee is $250. I know that. That's the fee with virtually every service. I'm going to order you to pay that. As for the value of the phone, I assess the value of the phone at $100. Since it's a 1-year-old used phone, I am deducting from that $100 the credit that they gave you, and I'm ordering him to pay an additional $69 for the value of the phone. As for the October bill, we discussed that. He wouldn't be responsible for it because he didn't have the phone past that.
Right.
It's as soon as he didn't have the money that you didn't shut off the phone, that you did shut off the phone. Therefore, I am ordering him to pay the sum of $319 to you. That is my judgment. Don't do this again, right?
Right.
Right? We learned something?
I learned my lesson.
Okay, good. Well, if you've been watching People's Court for the last 14 years, you would have learned your lesson without so much pain. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and so the plaintiff does collect not everything she sued for, and it goes against you. What's your feeling?
I'm glad for her. But I didn't break the phone. The phone did work when I gave it back to her. And
Why would she force this phone on you like that?
She just insisted on doing a favor for me. She wanted to do a favor for me.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe she wanted more than a friendship. I don't know.
You think? If he asked you, you're a friend, right?
Yeah.
If he asked you to put a phone in your name for him, would you do it?
No, sorry, but no.
Okay. Right down this way. Follow Officer McIntosh this way. All right, so come on in here. What do you think of the outcome?
I think it went pretty well. I just wish I maybe could have gotten a little bit more than I anticipated, but...
You regret doing this?
Absolutely.
What were you thinking?
I ask myself that same question all the time since everything happened.
And what answer comes out of your head?
I don't know.
Harvey?
Okay, look, we've had a lot of these cases. Never, ever, 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 ever put a friend's phone in your name. I don't care how good of a friend it is. When that happens, it means they have bad credit. No matter what they say, no matter what reason they give, they have bad credit. And you do not want to take a bet on somebody's bad credit. It is a bad, bad bet. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.